going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Jake here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on this video as I continue the series on my favorite exercises for building mass within specific parts of the body. And if you are new here and you are new to this series, I am now on the triceps exercises, as you can see by the title. And if you are new here, or if you are returning and have not seen any of my other videos I have made, I will link them right up here. I think I got it correct this time. So I have done bicep building exercises for building mass. I have done chest exercises using a resistance band, and I have done leg exercises as well. Now, I also have to continue and do shoulders and back, I believe. Those are my last ones, and I think I can throw core in there. If I come up with some core ones, I will definitely throw them in there as well, or any other exercises that I have, I will definitely throw them in there. But if you are new here, please subscribe, leave a like, and also throw down a comment of what you would like to see, or maybe what was your favorite tidbit or your favorite tricep exercise throughout this video. Now, there are only two, and obviously I'm going to throw in a third, as I always do when someone comes in the video. Usually the third exercise is a variation to the first or second. In this case, it's going to be to the first exercise. So to start, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first exercise is the tricep dips. Now, the tricep dip is one of my all-time favorites, especially because it's body weight. And I love doing body weight exercises because it is surely a challenge, right? You'll notice that any body weight exercise you do, like a pull-up, a push-up, right, a chin-up, a tricep dip, a chest dip, any kind of body weight exercise you'll do, you'll notice the difference between something using weights, using a machine, about how much the task it puts on your muscle. So that's why I love doing the dip, because it really shows how well you can do a tricep dip, right? How much strength do you have? How far can you go? So what I do here, and I'll tell you the difference between a tricep dip and a chest dip. As you can see in this video, what I am doing is I keep an upright posture in my body, right? It's kind of like I have a 90-degree angle. Even though I kick my legs up, it doesn't matter. You can have your legs down. There's really no effect here. But the real change is when you tilt your body forward, right? If I were to tilt my body forward, then I would be activating more chest. I'd be chest dominant, right? As I sink low into that dip. However, in our case for triceps, I'm focusing on the triceps. So I'm straight, my posture is upright. And notice that I don't have to sink that low into my tricep dip. Something I see a lot and tend to see a lot in the gym is that people tend to sink really low and far down into their dip. Now, do I know if this is specifically bad or not? No, I don't. But what I'm kind of hypothesizing and what it makes sense is that if you are to go really too far and your elbow is to come all the way back, you're kind of putting your shoulder into an injury-prone state where it's more internal rotation and you're putting it down further. So that's something just to keep wary of, just to keep in mind as you go throughout doing tricep dips, right? Is to watch the extension of your shoulder, right? As it comes all the way back from your body. And another thing is keeping in mind through any tricep exercises, most of the times we want to keep our tricep pointed inward toward our body instead of flared out, right? We don't focus as much. If I were to do a tricep dip and my elbows were to be flared out, which is quite hard to do anyways on that parallel bar, we want to keep in mind for not just the tricep dip to keep our elbows more tucked into the side. And I'll show you here in this variation. So for this variation I have, if you cannot do a tricep dip, or if you are at a gym that does not have a tricep dip bar, it's no problem, no worries. Try this other body weight exercise, and it's a common known one. It's known as the triceps push-up, okay? So the difference here as well with the chest and the tricep is that when I come down into this push-up, you can see I put my hands up together. Like I'm signaling a motion to you guys. I'm putting my hands close together because this is what I'm gonna do when I go to the ground. I put my hands close to each other. Okay, now this is a cue to activate my triceps. If I were to have my hands out wider, then I'm going to be more chest dominant, right? I'm not going to be focusing on my triceps as much as I want to here. So I keep my hands in close, and like I said before, your elbows are tucked into your side, and all my focus, all my attention is on my triceps. And notice that when I come up to the top of a tricep push-up, what you want to do is basically turn the inside of your elbows inward, right? That's a common, I think a lot of things that people miss, especially in a chest push-up or any type of push-up, is that turning at the top. That's actually when you're activating whatever muscle you're targeting. If it's the triceps and you're doing it, you're going to be actually squeezing at the top of the triceps. If it's the chest and you come up to the chest and you're squeezing in, you're turning, as you can see, I'm going to be pushing at my chest there. So that's a huge difference, and I think something that is kind of overlooked, especially just in a push-up. So with that being said, you have that tricep dip, and if you cannot do the tricep dip, you can go into doing a tricep push-up, which is a great variation for this body weight exercise. Okay, now continuing on to the second exercise. This one, I guess you can say this one's another body weight exercise again, and it's more of a tricep finisher. What I mean by a tricep finisher is that you can do it at the end of your workout. If you are to work chest and triceps on a specific day, you can throw this in at the end. If you're just to work out an arm day or just a day where you're working out triceps, try throwing this exercise in that I'm about to show you and see how much of a difference it is and how much challenging it is on your triceps. So what you're gonna do here is notice that you come up to either a Smith machine bar, if a gym has a Smith machine bar for you, something where the bar is stable and locked in place that you can grab onto, or just come up to a simple barbell and put it kind of against the edges of that spotter of the catchers, the spotter catchers at the bottom, where if you were to do a squat and you drop the weight, you have those spotter bars. So put either a Smith machine locked in or a bar up against those catchers. So what you would do is it's a 3-sequence finisher. As you see, the first thing I'm doing is I come up to the bar and I'm kind of at a neutral stance with my hands, but my elbows are still pointed inwards, right? I'm still pointed inwards here. And the first thing I do is I scoop my body underneath the bar. Now, this is going to be the most challenging of the finisher, and we're going to get progressively easier as we go on. So the main goal here is as I go underneath the bar, this is the hardest part. I have to push against all my body weight using my triceps. That's what makes this so difficult, right? I have to use all the force within my body to push against, as I'm far underneath this bar, to push to get back up to the top. And again, I turn those elbows up at the top. My elbows are tucked in close to my body here. So you want to do this until failure, until you can't no more. And then when you get to the point where you can't no more, then continue on to the next part of the sequence, which is a tricep extension. And you notice here, I'm not going underneath the bar. I'm kind of going, my head is parallel to the bar as I come down, and then I simply come back up, okay? Like any sort of skull crusher type tricep extension, I'm just coming down, my head is parallel to the bar, and then I come up. And now where you can't do this anymore and you fail to get an extra rep and you realize you can't, then go to a simple tricep, close grip tricep push-up. All right, as you can see, my hands now moving closer to the bar. My hands are closer to each other on this bar here. And I'm keeping that kind of tricep push-up motion where my elbows are tucked into my sides. And I'm keeping this steady motion. As you can see, this is progressively getting easier through this finisher. This is a great exercise I actually was introduced to a couple of months ago and been using a lot more, and I've seen a lot more growth within the triceps for this exercise specifically. So those are just 2 exercises that I want to throw in. You have the triceps dip, right? And you can also, with a triceps dip, something I always forget to add is that if you want to challenge yourself, throw weights on, right? You can throw a belt if your gym has a belt, or if you want to go out and buy a belt, you can actually throw a belt on and throw a 45 plate, a 25-pound plate, a 10-pound plate, a 5-pound plate. It doesn't matter. You can throw a weight on to actually challenge yourself, right? So each time you come back into the gym, you can do progressive overload. What progressive overload is next week you come back and you do triceps, and then you maybe add a weight, or you add a couple more reps that you couldn't do last time, but now you can because you're doing it the following week. So challenge yourself, right? These are little things like this that you can do. Even on the triceps, you can use that lever at the bottom, right? You notice a lot of these these pull-up type dip bars that are a combination of one have these lever bars. They have it because if you can't do a pull-up or can't do a tricep dip, you can use this lever and put weight on it to sink your body down, right? Easy, and then it'll shoot you back up so you can keep on going, right? And then this way you can actually reach a state of fatigue. So start with this and then progressively overload each week. Challenge yourself, right? And like I said, if you can't do this, you can do the variation, which is a tricep push-up, or you can simply just do both of them, honestly, either or. And then you have the other one, which is your tricep variation of the 3 exercises, which is the tricep finisher. We'll call that the tricep finisher. So those are the 3 exercises that I want to throw out there to you guys. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video and watching. And if you like this video, please leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you are new here. Leave a comment as well. Comment anything you want to, whether it's you want to see something new. What was your favorite part of this whole series? Let me know. Comments mean a lot to me, and it helps other people to see this free content out there, because this is very powerful, to get this content, to reach it to other people so they can see, and so their brain can be opened up to more awareness of what they can do inside the gym. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Jake. Stay happy, stay healthy out there. Peace.